here from Asleep at Last. Welcome to another one of my videos. Please remember to hit subscribe to my channel to be notified of when I do new videos. This video is talking about when to stop feeding at night time. So the first thing I want to say is that every baby is absolutely different and every mum is different as well. So it has to be something that works for you as a family and something that a decision that you're happy with. But obviously the main thing is that it's all dictated by the baby and baby's weight. So prior to, obviously newborn babies need to be fed on demand, night and day. That's absolutely a fact and most people are aware of that. However, when a baby is 4 months plus, depending on their weight, they can actually, believe it or not, sleep through the night. I'm not saying that they should, I'm just saying that it's possible. And if your baby if your baby is over 4 months and isn't sleeping through the night and is still having night feeds, don't think that that means you're doing anything wrong. And like I say, every baby is different. And ultimately, the best thing to look at is the child's weight. So a baby that is of a healthy weight, tracking their line and is otherwise thriving, may not need a night feed in the night. However, from my experience and all the clients that I've worked with, most babies between 4 and 6 months need at least 1 night feed. Anything more than 2 night feeds at 4 or 5 months would be what I would class as excessive. In terms of if you've got a baby that's over 4 months and is having more than 2 feeds, I would definitely try and cut that down. If you've got a 6-month-old who is established on solids, for example, then they almost certainly don't need any milk feeds in the night. Again, as long as their weight is stable and they're otherwise healthy. You know, it can be quite controversial because some people do believe that you should feed babies on demand night and day. The issue with doing that is that babies, you know, they're human beings, we all are. If we're snacking through the night, how do you expect us to then take enough during the day? You know, the idea is that we eat our calories during the day and we sleep at night. We are designed and programmed to do that, and that's why, you know, if your baby isn't doing that from 4+ months, you want to try and encourage them to do that, and it's perfectly normal and perfectly okay to do that. Of course, if you want to carry on feeding throughout the night, you can, but very often, especially my clients and people who speak to me, they recognize that a lot of the feeding that's going on at night is not for hunger. It is actually just comfort, and it is quite easy to tell this, especially if you've got like a 6-7 month old, because their sucking is very shallow and they're kind of still, you know, very sleepy, and they're not doing much swallowing, and it's very, very quick and they just fall asleep. And also I usually find that as mums, you instinctively know if they are genuinely hungry or not. You can also tell, for example, if they are over 6 months old and they're not having many solids, then yeah, they may well be hungry in the night and be taking quite a lot of milk on. But then you've got that situation going on where the milk is stopping them from them having a big solid feed, for example, for the breakfast the next day, for example, and then that kind of puts them on the back foot. So I am an advocate of, sometimes if the baby doesn't naturally drop them after certainly after 5 months, to start thinking about dropping those feeds yourself. And to do that, if they're bottle fed, you could just cut down the amount in the bottle by 30 mils a night, or just reduce the time at the breast. Now, if you've got a baby that's like 8, 9 months, 10 months old and still having multiple night feeds, that is more than likely that you've got a feed to sleep association, and I've got a video on feed to sleep associations if you want to go and check that out, about how to remove that feed to sleep association, because it won't be as simple for you to just, you know, reduce the time at the breast and get them off it, because they've actually got that association to sleeping. So there's a little bit more to it, and might be a little bit more challenging, so go check that video out. But ultimately, if your baby is having multiple night feeds and they are over 4 months old and of a healthy weight and thriving, then it's okay to start reducing some of those night feeds down. Maybe just keep one if they're quite a small baby. If they're above 6 months old, I would definitely try and cut all night feeds out. They are not necessary and they are not needed. But obviously you have to decide for yourself, and like I say, every situation is individual, and you will know what's best for you. If, you know, it's a lot of times mums feel very guilty as well, because feeding is one of those things that our children can't do for themselves. We provide for them as their caregivers, and the thought of taking that away, if you are concerned that they may or may not need it, you're not sure, the guilt of that can really weigh heavily on you as a mum, because it just feels wrong. But like I say, if the signs are there that they're just comfort feeding, and you know they're getting good milk feeds during the day, you know their weight is good, just try it and see how you get on. We're always going to be paranoid that our babies are hungry as mums. It's just what we do. But at the end of the day, night feeds, we're not designed to feed through the night, and at some point that does need to come to an end, especially if you're struggling with sleepless nights. This dropping the night feeds will actually help with that as well, because it stops the wakes, which are not necessary because they're not genuinely hungry. So I hope that helps. If it did, please hit like. Remember to subscribe to my channel to be notified of when I publish new videos, and thank you for listening.